So it's super important to know like these little fun facts. Fun fact number 1, the Old Testament God is Saturn. Jehovah is Saturn. Saturn is the old time matrix. It's a planetary body. It's a consciousness. They're gods, right? These are the false gods, the not true creator, but the many aspects. They're the attributes, the aspects, the characteristics, the centers of God. Because we live in a cosmic being, and God is essentially nature. It's all of the things, but nature, God, Gaia, the cosmic being we reside within, and the heavenly consciousness, like all of it. So, fun fact. Old Testament God is Saturn. Saturn is the rebellious child. Saturn is the ego and of this plane and the matrix, the Metatronic matrix that we live within, that's trying to keep us, the system and the aspects that it has manifested itself into, beings that it has manifested itself into, because all things must be manifest because we're in a mental universe, right? And so the Jehovah is Saturn, and that's the smiteful God. That's the, bow to me, praise me, or you will die and go to hell, and all of those shit, right? That's Saturn, okay? And the New Testament God is Zeus, all right? It is Jupiter. Jupiter is the Christ. Jupiter rules. It's the ancient ruler of Pisces. And so Jupiter is about expansion, expanding our minds. And Saturn is about the form and building the form. So back to Saturn. Saturn is contracted with Gaia through the cosmic rays. Saturn is a sacred planet. It means that it's already gone through an ascension. It's a sacred planet, okay? And it's an Olympian. It's a god. Anyways, it's contracted with Earth through the third ray, active intelligence, to descend its consciousness onto this plane, this planet, this plane of consciousness, to build a form, Merkaba, light body, for the man, the mind, man means mind, to have a form to ascend itself in. So Gaia itself is the planet. It's a fourth ray planet, or plane or consciousness, which is the animal, mineral, vegetable, and man mind. And so the animal, mineral, vegetable, and mind needed a form to incarnate into, so that the consciousness, the plane of Gaia, could ascend. It could grow, it could evolve, it could create its expression of itself, and then it would be able to evolve and to move back into the higher planes, into the higher dimensions. And this is how planets and universes are constructed, through mind and into manifestation, into creation. Okay, so that is Saturn, and Saturn's purpose is to create form, right? That was the Old Testament God. Then we have the New Testament God, which is where you have Jesus, and you have the Messiah, Yeshua, all right? Yeshua, Jesus, whatever you want to call it. This is Zeus. This is Jupiter, okay? Every race that we have gives it, or culture that we've created as humanity, gives these planets a different name. Our generation, this one's called Jesus. All right, I was on a tangent about this. Anyways, side note. Jupiter is the great expander of the mind. Okay, so Saturn gave us a form for the mind to come into, and it gave us structure. It helped us to orient into life and to grow up. And this is where we have all of the stuff in the Old Testament And it's talking about the building of the mind. Well, Lord means law. So we had to follow these laws, which are the laws of the universe, the Hermetic laws, principles, okay, of how energy works in order to build the body of Christ. And then Christ descends into the body. And this is where we have the age of Pisces and the sixth root race. And this is where we have, again, the Christ descending into the vessel. And Jupiter is the Messiah that leads us or expands us through, religious pursuits, devotion, becoming aware of worldly affairs and different cultures and how the heart and the mind work in coherence and all these things. So Jupiter expands our sense of self, and it brings us into the Godhead through our many adventures and failures and aspirations in life. We come to the end, and we have now expanded our sense of self away from self-centeredness, egocentrism, and into the Godhead. And that's what Jupiter does. Now we're moving into the age of Aquarius. Now we're moving into Uranus, who is the father of Saturn, is the father of all of the Olympians. Okay? And Gaia and Uranus are the mother and the father. They are the manifestation of the mother and the father. Like, the mother-father is really, it's an infinite intelligence. God is infinite intelligence. If you didn't know, God is in all things. Anyways, so, but in the era of the golden age and the age of Aquarius, the dawning of Aquarius, we are working with Uranus. Uranian consciousness deals, and even being, I love it. Uranian consciousness is expanding us into the group, into unity consciousness. So it's having the far-sightedness to see the bigger picture. And that's why Uranus looks like an antenna, a giant antenna. And so this is moving us up into the exosphere, up beyond the monadic plane. Jupiter rules, operates, and holds. It's a field. It's a force field. It's an auric field. All the planets hold an aspect of the auric field. Saturn is the spirit body. Jupiter is the monadic body. And so it's holding this Christ consciousness, this field. And that is what we are moving into. And that is the seventh ray, which is the ray of magic through ceremony and order, through dance and play. It is the indigo ray. This is why right now there's so many indigos on the plane that have been incarnated, because they have the seventh ray ruling them. They're Uranian, they're Aquarian, they're rebels. And a lot of them have their Uranus placement in Sagittarius and Ophiuchus. All right, so Uranian consciousness is, again, it's expansion, but it's also about utilizing the body. The body, and through order, the body is the most magnificent, magical instrument in the entire universe. One verse, one rhythm, unity consciousness. So I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah. If you have any comments you want to add below, that's awesome. If you have any questions about